Hey YouTube! Today, we are diving into The Night House, a 2020 horror film that left me with mixed feelings. It's a layered story, starting as a thriller and detective mystery before veering into full-blown mysticism. While some might see profound allegories on accepting death, I found the ending a bit too straightforward. And, let's be honest, the title The Other Side of the House is way more descriptive than The Night House. The film follows Rebecca Hall, Transcendence, as Beth, a woman grappling with crippling depression after her husband's suicide. Losing a loved one is devastating, especially when you're left with nothing but grief. It's no surprise Beth struggles to cope, stuck in their enormous, empty house, further complicated by an intrusive mother-in-law concerned about her son's grades. Beth's already raw grief explodes when she confronts her mother-in-law, revealing Owen's unexplained suicide and her indifference to her son's school performance. More importantly, Beth is utterly bewildered by Owen's actions. Their life seemed normal, so what happened? While sorting through Owen's belongings, Beth discovers a journal detailing house plans, a red flag that hints at something more than just grief. Then, she starts receiving messages and calls seemingly from Owen. Dreams? Possibly. But a strange photo on Owen's phone, a woman who looks eerily like Beth, yet off throws a wrench into things. It turns out Owen suffered from sleepwalking after moving into the house, and now Beth suspects she's doing the same. At a bar with colleagues, Beth opens up about her husband's death, finding some release in sharing her pain with strangers. She's desperate to understand Owen's cryptic suicide note. There's nothing there. Nothing to fear. The threat has passed. No salutation, no signature. Is it even a suicide note? Beth's own near-death experience at 17, 4 minutes clinically dead before being revived, gives her unique insight. She told Owen she saw nothing after death, but he clung to the hope of an afterlife. But how could he write about what he saw after death? Did he die, come back, write the note, and then die again? It doesn't quite add up. The afterlife is a fascinating topic. I won't delve into the potential for unfriendly entities or the physiological explanations for the light at the end of the tunnel. But I want to touch on something else, the awareness of self after death. Sleep is often compared to death, yet not everyone is conscious during dreams. Perhaps post-death awareness isn't universal, fading as the soul detaches from the individual, leaving only a record of actions. It's a complex issue, but it serves as a reminder, we only have this one life. Back to the film. Beth experiences a vision or dream of ghostly figures jumping from a cliff, a light across the lake, a blood-stained boat, bloody footprints on the dock. She loses consciousness, wakes up in the boat, and it carries her across the lake to a mirror image of her house. A woman resembling Beth and Owen are inside, but the house number is reversed. She enters and wakes up. A dream, but it fuels her investigation. She finds numerous photos of women resembling her on Owen's computer. The shock is palpable. A house like hers can't exist on the other side of the lake. It's a protected area, yet she finds an unfinished house, containing a voodoo doll. A neighbor reveals seeing Owen with another woman, hinting at secrets he kept hidden. How can you live with someone for 14 years and not know they are seriously into magic? Perhaps the vastness of their house contributed to the secrecy. Beth uncovers occult books, traces them to a shop, and finds the woman from the photo. If Owen wasn't sleeping with these women, why were they important to him? A friend advises Beth to let the past go, to preserve the memory of her husband. Why? To avoid shattering the illusion of a happy life. To prevent discovering a hidden monster. It seems that's exactly what happened. Owen attempted to strangle the woman from the shop, who resembles Beth. Beth discovers a pile of bodies in the other side house. I was shocked, not by the discovery itself, but by Beth's obliviousness to Owen's secret life. She insists she knew him well, that he was incapable of this. But building a second house and maintaining relationships with multiple women takes time. How could a loving wife miss that? And the connection between violence and occultism. Did he try to control his urges with magic, using the voodoo doll? Beth's grief, her calls to him, brought him back invisible, yet tangible. I'd be questioning what she actually summoned. Then, in a mirror reflection, Beth sees a woman resembling herself and Owen trying to kill her. Why would he target women like her? A subconscious desire to kill her. Beth finds herself in a mirrored world, witnessing Owen having sex and killing women, watched by an unseen entity. The ending reminded me of Lazarus Effect. It's simple, yet the plot expertly guides us through Beth's doubts and suspicions. It wasn't Owen's madness. Beth brought an entity from the other side when she died for those 4 minutes at 17. She lived with it her whole life, fueling her depression and dark thoughts. The entity shifted to her husband, but Owen's love for Beth led him to create the voodoo doll, build the second house, and kill others to protect her. Beth survived again, but the entity likely won't leave her alone. At least she knows her enemy now. What I liked, the impressive use of space. Furniture and objects were used to create the illusion of people, a clever technique. And Hall's performance was outstanding. She's mostly alone on screen, yet conveys a wide range of emotions: doubt, suspicion, despair. Overall, The Night House is a strange film with a compelling mystery. The magic element initially felt tacked on, a way to heighten the fear. I even considered a version where Owen is simply a serial killer obsessed with Beth's type. But it's much more profound. While I had no unanswered questions, the film left me feeling strangely disoriented. It's interesting, but I can't say I fully enjoyed it. I'm not sure why. It just didn't quite click.